Welcome back to the Kane and Day Show. I am your host, Kane. You can find me at Twitter at Killing Kane and at YouTube at Killing Kane. I'll kick it over to Day here. He'll introduce himself, and we're going to talk about NFL Week 1.
Yeah, my name's Day. You can find me on Twitter at Realdaygaming1. And follow the show on Twitter, Kane and Day Show.
Yeah.
Fun times. We will start posting on there.
Yeah, we will.
We meant to update about baseball being delayed because of schedule problems.
Yeah. Baseball will come soon. Just
don't worry.
We haven't forgot. But week one in the NFL kicked us off with a straight massacre.
Yep.
With Josh Allen being that dude.
Yeah. Jalen Ramsey's also not very good.
I mean, a perfect passer rating against him. Stephon Diggs absolutely dismantled him.
Well, it didn't even matter who he was guarding.
Yeah.
I think he was 6 for 175 and 2.
Oh yeah, dude. He fucking went off. It was crazy. I'm gonna keep saying it. Josh Allen is that dude. He is going to make heads turn this year. He really is. He's my pick for MVP.
Oh yeah, I mean he's a lot of people's picks for MVP.
But his biggest competition said not so fast. That's the only thing that I'm just like shit about. Because Patrick Mahomes came out on Sunday.
He threw for 5.
And absolutely obliterated anyone's doubts, and especially my own. Because, I mean, you were a two-trick pony kind of with Tyreek and Travis Kelce, and now you have a whole slew of guys. I mean, Mecole Hardman can't catch a ball that well, but he's fast. But Buffalo came out and made a statement against the Super Bowl defending champions. Cooper Kupp, still flawless, still amazing, had himself a great day. Cam Akers, who everybody was super high on coming into the season.
I needed 40 rushing yards from him. That's all I needed for a parlay.
He didn't do shit. He had 0 yards. My fantasy team crumbled because of him and Allen Robinson.
So, my biggest question from that game is Buffalo that good? Or are the Rams in trouble?
I'm gonna go on a thing to say the Bills are that good. Like, let's be real here. He came out last year, absolutely balled out in both playoff games. Josh Allen went tick for tack with Patrick Mahomes in that game last year. Absolute bloodbath. Absolute bloodbath. They were both going back and forth. It was crazy. Josh Allen's that guy. He's going to be in that conversation. Like in the AFC, him and Mahomes are 1 and 2.
Right.
They're too good not to be. And then, you could throw Herbert in there. Maybe if Joe Burrow doesn't throw 4 interceptions in a game, you can throw him in there.
Yeah, rough go.
Oh, dude, it was. But T.J. Watt, it's so unfortunate that happened to him. T.J. Watt was in his.
About it though.
Dude, T.J. was in his face all game. Even got himself an interception. Like, that dude is a million times better than his brother. Million times better than his brother. But
that was in the final second of regulation too? That was in the fourth quarter?
No.
Oh, that's even worse.
Oh yeah. Like, he got hurt late. But
that's sad.
Buffalo is gonna compete this year. To be honest,
that's why we both picked them to go to the Super Bowl.
To be honest, the AFC is kind of weak. Like, when you look in the grand scheme of things, right? You only have the team that's in first be actually really good. To be honest, like, Cincinnati, Cincinnati, they're gonna be probably the winners of the division again. They just got to really like pull their head out, get us long snapper that's not a dude that didn't long snap for like 5-6 years, because Cincinnati had no business losing that game. No business.
They did. No.
But like,
well, I mean, if Burrow doesn't throw 4 picks, I don't know if they were all on him. Because like I said, I didn't see the game, but if they, it's like one of Stafford's interceptions wasn't even on him.
Right.
It was his receiver tipped it up and it just went right to a Bills defender. So it's like, something like that.
But when you're looking at the AFC in the grand scheme of things, Bills are going to be your number 1 team out of the AFC East, like we covered in our prediction video. But you look at the AFC North, it could go Ravens or Cincinnati. Maybe Pittsburgh pulls it out because I don't know, their defense is pretty good. Like, that's the one thing I'll take away.
But they have to score.
So you came out with Mitch Trubisky. Mitch Trubisky looked good. He looked good he looked good. I had my doubts. I mean, at some point, Kenny Pickett's going to be your guy. He might come in sometime this year. George Pickens didn't do shit. Their big wide receiver that they drafted didn't do a goddamn thing. That was really unfortunate. But it can go one of 3 ways, really, because you know how far teams can go relying on their defense, and I think the Steelers' defense is that steel curtain, because Minkah Fitzpatrick is an absolute dominating stud who flies all over the field and could easily have a turnover. Easily. Mm-hmm. So it could go one of 3 ways. We think, or at least I think Cincinnati gets it done. They just got to really pull their head out of their ass. It hurt because T. Higgins went down with an injury as well.
Well, the other thing I was like, for the Bengals' sake of it, it's like, it's week 1, right?
Right.
Like, a look at last year with the Packers. You even look at this year. They'll write their own story for this year, but for looking at last year, like, the Packers lost week 1 to New Orleans.
Right.
They had no reason losing that game.
Yeah, Jameis Winston came out in their opener and just dominated, I'm pretty sure.
But they still went 13-4 with the number 1 seed. Right? It's just week 1. I wouldn't really have any... I don't have any concern about them yet. It's like I said, it's just week 1. It's not preseason anymore.
Right.
That's where a lot of like the new guys and rookies, this is real football. This counts.
Right.
And
everything matters.
Now, if they at least it was somewhat close. Like I said, if Burrow doesn't throw 4 picks, that game doesn't even. That's not 20-23.
I mean, Jamar Chase still had himself a fantastic game.
Yeah. But now, if they lose next week, well, they play Dallas next week in Dallas. I know that because Tim Tapman's going to the game.
Yes, they are.
Now, if they lose next week, and then they lose week 3, they start 0-3. That's when you start having some concerns. That's the same thing I was telling my buddies who are Packer fans. Like, if they start 0-3, I would be worried.
Right. I've got my fair share of thoughts on the Packers this year after week 1.
From my friends with extremely biased opinions, said it was really rough. And I looked at the box score when I got home.
Oh, it wasn't.
And I saw Jordan Love played. And I was like, I immediately texted my buddy. I said, "What the hell happened?" Because Jordan Love shouldn't have been playing that game.
Right. But you're just saving Aaron because that's really all it is.
Then I was like, well, I guess it really was that bad of a game. It was 17-0 at halftime. That was brutal.
But getting back to me saying that the AFC is kind of a weak division, I mean, you now have 4 teams in the AFC West that could take it. Actually, you have 3 teams that can take it because I am counting the Broncos out now.
I wouldn't.
Ooh, I don't know. Rookie head coach takes his.
I don't mind that call last night.
64 fucking yards, bro.
That kick was good if it was in between the posts.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Here's the thing though. He missed twice.
Okay, well, that first one when Pete Carroll called timeout, that one was a fucking yoink.
Yeah. But the second one he still missed.
The second one had the length,
here's the thing. You paid him a fucking $250,000 to be big play Russ. Let Russ cook. That's what you fucking want. You were getting on the right side. 5+ yards every single passing play or fucking running play. Right. First down, easy. Game's over.
I do think he mismanaged that clock a little bit.
And at the end, he was being a fucking toddler, and he's just like,
well, yeah, the
timeout.
Come on.
Timeout.
You're not just end it.
Like, don't be a fucking sore loser because you made a shitty fucking coaching call.
Like I said, Janikowski had the leg for it.
It's
I don't mind the call.
It's McManus.
It's my fault.
It's McManus.
They both had big legs, okay?
Right. But that's, like, Janikowski's retired, by the way.
Sorry.
Jason Myers is now the Seahawks kicker.
I don't know why I had that name.
But
I knew it was long, but...
I mean, looking at that game, though, like... I mean, we'll get more in depth on it later, but it's just poor coaching. You brought this guy in to be your franchise quarterback. Trust him. As a Seahawks fan, I know what Russell Wilson can do. I've seen that motherfucker run around for 10 seconds in the backfield, turn and throw it in a championship game to send the Seahawks to a Super Bowl. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, I definitely think you couldn't have wrote. Jesus, English is tough today. You couldn't have written a better script for that game to end, because Russell Wilson with a chance to have lead a game-winning drive
in Seattle.
Dude,
it's crazy how many delay of games were called last night on the Broncos.
I saw at least 2, but I missed the first quarter. So.
There was like 3 or 4 maybe, but like fuck.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
that's a lot. And there was a couple times where I saw Russ like rushing the guys because they only had like 5 seconds left and they didn't even start the motion yet.
Right. It like, I don't know. It was poor coaching decision on one of the best quarterbacks that's been in the league. Yeah. Literally is the 4th best at leading a team back to win.
Yeah, I think with 60 seconds left, you're just off of midfield. Like, I feel like they should have let Russ get a little bit closer, even with 4th and 5. Like, you got to go win the game.
Yeah, it's winner fucking lose. Why are you giving fucking a minute to the Seahawks?
Well, it was just weird because like there was 45 seconds left when 4th and 5 started, and
the clock was stopped.
No, it was running.
Oh,
it was running because it called the timeout with 20 seconds left.
It was the play before that when people got hurt.
Yeah, that or Judy dropped the balls, one of the two.
But
I know he had a drop on that drive, but
it was.
But yeah, it's like it's just with 45 seconds left, 4th and 5, go win the game, get closer.
Yeah.
If you know McManus can make that kick from 65 or 64.
Yeah.
Like, get it a little. Take a chance. If he misses it, you lose the game anyway.
And that's what he did.
He had to tie the NFL record just to win that game. You might as well go for it on 4th and 5.
Also,
it was the same result.
Hey, guess what? It's week 1. It's week 1. It's not make or break your season. But after that coaching performance, I think Denver should be worried because that was just poor. And Twitter was a war zone about it.
Oh, yeah, that was a good clip of Peyton Manning. Literally the whole 25 seconds after 3rd down to 4th down. He's literally just going like this. Just somebody just call timeout.
Yeah, no, like Twitter erupted off of that because it's like you paid this man so much money to be your franchise guy and you traded for him.
You traded a lot for him.
Yeah. And it's like I said with Dipshit 1 and Dipshit 2 on the Monday night broadcast now. Oh, it must be bittersweet to see Seattle actually having good pocket present. Because don't get me wrong, Gino had time. He had time in that pocket last night.
Yeah.
Like, I
Bradley
counted.
Chubb got him twice. That was it.
Well, yeah, and I was counting. I was like counting how many seconds he had. Dude, there was one play where he had like 5 seconds in the pocket.
Yeah.
And I was like, don't make me start feeling some type of way. I've already written you off for the year. Don't make me feel some type of way. And Gino played well. Played better than my expectations of him. Russ came out, did what he did. Jerry Jeudy got a lot done last night. It's just bound to happen. Cortland Sutton had himself a good game.
Yeah, he did.
You know?
Yeah, at least 2 or 3 catches over 15 yards. That was good.
My brother, I was like, man, like, defense really kind of showed out tonight, huh? And he's like, not between the 20s.
Well,
I mean, it was...
held him a couple times, though.
Yeah, we got 2 end zone... Or they got 2 end zone fumbles and stops.
I saw the one, yeah.
They were locked down.
Gordon, wasn't it?
Yeah, Melvin Gordon and Williams both fumbled.
Yeah, that fumble lost my buddy money. That was funny.
But I mean, it's still early, but you can't be making those just dumb decisions. You can't be like, even the Seahawks went on fourth down once. I was like, what the fuck is this? What? Usually you send fucking Dixon out to bomb a punt or bring the kicker out. You never go for it, and they did. And I was like, okay, I'm here for it. One of the other bloodbaths from Sunday were the Eagles and the Lions.
You know, it was, like I told you off camera, like, that was their first sellout at home on a non-Thanksgiving game since 2017. I heard from what my mom was telling me and some other people, that place was fucking rocking.
Dude, that good for them though. Good for Detroit. I think they've got a good young team. I really do.
I think Hard Knocks really helped out. I like hyped up the season for the fans.
Like, here's the thing: they're in the most perfect situation. You have a good running back in DeAndre Swift.
He was rated number 1.
You have a good running back in DeAndre Swift. Amore St. Brown, very good wide receiver. He really picked it up last year. Jared Goff is not terrible. And you also have Jamal Williams sitting there as a backup who, when
DJ Chark had a nice day too.
Yeah, and
how did Aiden do?
You look at Jamal Williams when he was in a Packers uniform. The dude was just a dog. He had that dog in him. And he really showed out. I mean,
Aiden only had one.
Fantasy-wise, Jamal played amazing on my bench. And I was very upset. But looking at that game, I mean, Jalen Hurts came out, slung the ball. Everybody Jalen Hurts is... It's always Jalen Hurts season. And I love Jalen Hurts because of, like, he was good at Bama. Like, that's the thing. He was good at Bama. He was good at Oklahoma. And then he came into the league and played very well in his rookie year. And he didn't even start the year. That's the crazy part. Dude came in and started winning games, and people are like, he sucks. Well, then their team went out.
Receivers with bricks in their hands.
Yeah, well,
they couldn't catch. They had so many drops.
Devonta Smith didn't do a goddamn thing for me either.
This is what he got me.
Oh yeah, he
0.
Got
you know
me
how much Chark had? 15. It didn't matter. I lost my 55 anyway. But
dude, I started him and Allen Robinson.
Oh well, that's tough.
It sure was. But Jalen Hurts came out and balled. Look at AJ Brown. Look at the wide receiver you guys went out and got. That motherfucker without a touchdown. Went off for so many fucking yards, and he was catching the ball. And Jalen Hurts was putting the ball in places where he could catch it. Like, come on,
he had,
guys.
155.
Yeah.
10 for 155.
It's a statement game.
You know what's really promising though for the Lions? Yes, they lost that game. But do you remember what the score was last year when Philadelphia caved to Detroit?
No.
It was 44-0.
Hey.
So the fact that it was 38-35, that is so beyond promising. I think even Jalen came out after the game and said that is definitely not the same team we played last year.
Dude, bro. Detroit, things are rocking. Things are moving. I agree.
Giving him the Oriole treatment 3 years.
I agree with you because here's the thing. If I'm Detroit, I don't care how much Dan Campbell loses. I will not care because the thing is, your players absolutely adore him.
Yeah.
They want to play for Dan Campbell. And with your guys, with them being kind of lower echelon for a little bit, is let them rebuild.
For a little bit.
You know what I mean.
Last 25 years. They haven't won a playoff game since 91.
That's fair. I mean, they've made the playoffs.
Barely.
But here's the thing, right? Is all these low-level picks are finally turning into something. Like, that's the thing you have to really look at here. Is you went out and you got the best, probably the best player in the draft. In Hutchinson.
He only had one tackle yesterday, but in one QB hit.
You know, it's going to be a process. You know, he's got to learn to pass rush on these seasoned dudes that are on the line.
Ann Arbor. This is real.
So here's the other thing. Like, everybody shits on Jared Goff. Jared Goff led his team to a fucking Super Bowl.
I don't really care. Sean McVay led him to the Super Bowl.
Fair. But Jared Goff I'm pretty sure he's thrown for over 5,000 yards before in a season.
Yeah, when he had Cooper Kupp. I hate Jared Goff.
That's fine. But I think this will pan out fine for him. They're gonna go get a quarterback, but Jared Goff is not a bad placeholder till that happens.
I'd rather have him than Justin Fields.
Justin Fields walked away with the W against the Niners.
Oh, well, you know what? That's a tough game to look at because did you see the weather? I drove through that weather. It was not fun.
I saw. But
that's why it's like Trey Lance, I still doubt him. I will doubt him for the entire season until he proves me wrong.
I agree. I think you start Jimmy Garoppolo, that game's different.
No, that weather was fucking terrible.
I don't care. Debo goes off. Brandon Ayuk goes off. Something happens besides the Bears winning. That's all I'm saying.
What was that final? Was it 16-19, right?
It was 19-10.
19-10.
But
close.
You look at both the Eagles and the Lions. They both are very, very young.
Yep.
The Eagles have traded away Jalen Ragnar and Whiteside because they weren't good. And now you have Devonta Smith. You have A.J. Brown. They've also got Dallas Goedert. And you have Miles Sanders, who had an absolute game. And that's what I was saying. Once you get Miles Sanders back, the Eagles are a different team because he is a stud in the backfield and lets them do more with their offense.
Hey, don't forget Dignitas Superstar Rocket League Pro Boston Scott either. Don't forget about
that's right. That's right. Boston Scott. That's right. Dude's a savage. Didn't really catch any of the 49ers and Bears game because I didn't want to watch it.
I saw a handful of drives while I was eating lunch before I took off. It was that wet. Like I said, that weather was brutal.
I mean, Trey Lance, 54 yards with Debo getting 52.
Did you see that picture after that game? It was trending on Twitter.
Or wait,
of all the Bears.
That's rushing.
Head first sliding.
Yeah.
Did you see that picture? Bro, I don't care for the Bears. I don't care for the Niners. I'm not a fan of
Put that on a portrait.
But that picture is just beautiful.
And you know what? I think the Bears are going to be fine because they have a new head coach, and they've got somebody in there working with Justin Fields to get him to the next level. And I think Justin Fields will be fine once he figures it out and doesn't play in a downpour.
I think he's a college quarterback, not
That's
an NFL
fine.
quarterback.
Never mind.
That's my personal opinion.
That was rushing. Trey Lance had 54 yards on the ground. He was 13 for 28 with 164 yards and an interception, no touchdown.
Yeah, but like I said, those passing yards are going to be down just because of the weather.
I mean, Debo, their number one receiver, I think, is that Jawan? Yeah, I think that's how you say it. Jauan. Juwan?
Yeah.
Jawan Jennings had 62 yards. Brandon Ayuk, 40. Debo, your number one guy, has 14. Not a good look.
Yeah, but they're kind of using him like the Falcons are with Cordell Patterson, where it's a little little bit of both, where it's passing and rushing.
Yeah, it's just
or receiving and rushing.
It's just not a great look though. I mean, Justin Fields 8 for 17, 121, 2 touchdowns and an interception, not terrible. Dante Pettis had himself a 51-yard reception that ended in a touchdown. Shout out to my dog, UW alum there.
I can't wait for Michigan State to beat them this week.
St. Brown's brother,
Amon-Ra,
got himself a touchdown, 18 yards, not bad, but wasn't a great game. Was not a great game.
Well, it could have ended in a tie.
And then the next game.
I can't believe that. I just can't believe the Colts and the Texans tied. That can't happen.
Yeah.
That just can't happen.
And then the next game was Steelers and Bengals. We already kind of touched base on that. Joe Burrow was not Joe Burrow. He threw a lot of interceptions, but he also got the ball down the field. Jamar Chase had himself 100 and something yards. It is beautiful. Beautiful
that
day.
Game's not close if there's not 4 interceptions thrown by Burrow. That game's not close.
I don't think so either. And then our next game here is the team I think is going to be second in the AFC East. Miami Dolphins versus the Patriots.
That one shocked me. But you know what? New England always is hit or miss when they go down to South Beach.
I mean,
Miami Gardens to go play with the Dolphins.
Yeah, this isn't a bad stat line from Tua. Like, there's one thing.
Waddle had a good day.
So here's the thing, right? With Tua, the dude really needs a good quarterback coach. Really does. Because I saw a play where Tyreek is running a cross, and he's going all the way fucking from right side to left side, and Tua sees him, doesn't get his foot planted, and throws open body and hit him. But it's like, bro, if you just were ready. Because when I see quarterbacks, they're jumping with their feet to kind of like look, the pivot thing.
Yeah.
It's like you instantly pivot. You see your new number one receiver, Tyreek Hill, streaking past the defender. You pivot into that, load up and throw. You catch him in stride, it's gone. He's torching whoever is defending him. Nobody can catch Tyreek. He's too fast. But 23 for 33 on the day, 270 yards with a touchdown. No interceptions. Pretty good day in my opinion. And then you got Tyreek.
Yeah, that score line's just really shocking.
I mean, Tyreek had 94. Jalen Waddle had 69. Chase Edmonds had 40. It's not bad at all.
Yeah, the Dolphins stats were pretty good from Sunday.
Yeah, and then you had the next game, Browns versus Panthers.
Oh, that hype.
I mean, Panthers couldn't do anything.
Baker sucks.
Man,
Baker sucks.
Dude, even CMC couldn't get anything going in that first half. Nobody on the Panthers.
He found himself on the injured list during the week. Yeah. Again.
But
that man, he responded, I think it was to Field Gates on Twitter, and someone commented saying that he probably broke 2 fingers typing that.
His thumbs, yeah.
Yeah, he broke both his thumbs typing that. Like, this man is made of paper.
Yeah.
He's so fragile.
Which is so unfortunate to see because, like, I think Derrick Henry is the best back in the league.
Well, my fantasy team begs to differ on that one from yesterday or Sunday.
Hey, he'll pop off. He's coming back from being out for a long period of time. He will find his feet again. But that's the one thing about CMC is like CMC could be the number 1 back maybe ever.
When healthy, he is one of the best backs right now.
And then the other running back that decided to just say, "Hey, remember me?" was Saquon Barkley. Saquon came out and ran all over. I can't
believe the Giants won. I couldn't believe it.
He ran all over the Titans defense, dude. But Baker had him in the lead, and then, the Panthers defense couldn't do anything to stop him to get a field goal. It's just how football works, I still think Baker's going to do fine, especially if CMC is healthy. He still has 2 decent wide receivers out there that'll help him get the job done. It's just
He went like 5 for 100 and a touchdown.
Yeah.
Something like that. It was a good day. I just still think Baker sucks.
That's fine. And then our next game is the Colton Texans. Jonathan Taylor did Jonathan Taylor things, but when Matt Ryan can't do shit, you end up tying your division rival, and now you're tied.
Number 3 pick last year.
And now you're tied for first in the division by a half game with a tie. Because no AFC South team won over the weekend.
Nope. Jaguars lost to Washington, and the Titans lost to the Giants.
Yeah.
Right? Giants.
But, I mean, Texans actually might be decent. They actually could be decent.
Stop.
They could be. They've got a lot of young studs on their team, but, you know, you had a bunch of guys.
I think they're a couple years.
Of course. I don't think that they're going to be good. I think they're just good. Like, average.
Fine. Yeah.
The Saints and the Falcons, though, that was a...
God, I don't know what it is. That Falcons team is cursed. They can't hold a lead to save their lives.
How did Mariota... How the fuck? Cordell fucking went for 120 yards. I mean, Mariota ran a touchdown in. Cordell caught one. Their kicker must have...
Mariota had 72 yards on the ground.
Yeah.
And 215 in the air. Like, I'd say that's a good day.
That's why the man they extended was 4 for 5 on field goals. That's why the score was so much. Mariota didn't do terrible.
No. He did a lot better than actually I thought.
I mean, Ritter will take over at some point, but maybe not this year.
No, if he plays like that, where he's got 215 in the air and 72 on the ground and a touchdown, why take him out?
Right.
Like, that's not bad. That's a good day with Cordell having 120 on the ground.
Yeah, and then
if you look at his stat line, it looks just like Debo's, where it's a lot of yards on the ground and 3 catches for 16.
Yeah.
In the air, like that. That's what I'm saying. Like
it's not bad.
They're using him like Cordell.
Yeah, it's not bad. And then Will Lutz came off and walked it off. I mean,
well, yeah, he's clutch. So
Will Lutz is a very good kicker. So, and then you had the Ravens and the Jets. The Jets are terrible. Lamar actually threw the ball, which surprised me. But the Jets running back, Michael Carter, absolutely had himself a day. He's the one guy to look out for on that Jets team. They don't have many bright spots. I don't think Zach Wilson's gonna do shit. But Michael Carter, that dude. You don't like the MILF Hunter?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't.
Sorry, Coach. Missed that meeting. But you look at these little playmakers that they have. The Jets got something. They just need a quarterback, and they need a defense. Yeah. Just need a quarterback and a defense.
Joe Flacco ain't it, let me tell you.
Well, I mean, Joe Flacco has been a backup for a while now, especially since they got Lamar in Baltimore, and Joe Flacco was all right throughout his whole career. He was average. Mm-hmm. He's what you needed at quarterback.
Hey, he did win a Super Bowl, so you know what?
Yeah.
Can't knock him for that.
But I also don't think Lamar's that good. I don't care that he won MVP. Like, all the haters in the comments, that's fine. I will die on this hill until Lamar throws a 5,000 yard, plus season. Like, you've got one of the top 3 tight ends in the league, and now I don't know any of your wide receivers. So, exactly.
And one got hurt. Kyle Fuller got hurt.
Oh, yeah. That is their star cornerback. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, the Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence ain't it. Like,
I still think Mac Jones will be the best quarterback out of that draft.
That's fair. I think Trevor Lawrence needs to cut the hair off. He's too, focused on how his hair looks to play quarterback. Bro.
I mean, you went 24-42. I mean, that's not good.
Yeah.
Like, the math there isn't good.
James Robinson had himself a way better day than Travis Etienne did.
Thanks for reminding me.
But, like, they went out and made so many moves that I expected them to be decent.
Well, I think a positive to look at is Trevor was only sacked twice.
That is better, but I mean, you wouldn't pay Christian Kirkle.
Well, yeah, but they had the same problem Seattle did last year with not being able to keep him up.
Right, and
he had only 2 sacks. That out of 42 passes, he was only sacked twice.
Yeah,
I would say that's pretty solid. I don't know how many times he was hurried.
Washington is a okay team. Just they have Carson Wentz, and Carson Wentz is gonna do.
He had about the same stats that Trevor did, except he had 4 touchdowns instead of 1.
Yeah.
Except he had 314, but
our next team I want to kind of delve a little bit more into is the Vikings just dismantled the Packers. Like, yeah. Aaron Rodgers, you should have just called it quits in the offseason. You should have. Like, you're not Tom Brady. I mean, Tom Brady might get a divorce because he came back.
No, he'll be just fine.
I agree, but there's a lot of things stirring. But, I mean, come on, Aaron Rodgers, you're not that guy anymore, man. Like, and here's my huge reasoning for it, right? He's got a bunch of young talent in his wide receiver pool and stuff.
You got Sammy Watkins out there.
And he's got, I think, no, Pringle's on a different team now. But the big thing is, right, is they don't have a super dominant tight end. And they don't have Devonta Adams anymore. Like, that was his go-to.
Safety blanket.
Yeah. I mean, Aaron Jones didn't do great. Like, from what I saw, is the Vikings defense were all over the place. They were everywhere. And Justin Jefferson, bad motherfucker. That's all I can say.
Clear. That trade between the Bills and Vikings for Stephon Diggs might be one of the fairest trades I've ever seen.
Because they got somebody just as good.
Because they got Justin Jefferson out of that trade.
Yeah.
With their draft pick from it. And the Bills got their big target for Josh Allen. And
Stephon Diggs.
Jefferson. Like, tell me a trade that was more fair.
Stephon Diggs and Justin Jefferson are almost the same person. Like,
yeah,
receiver-wise.
Justin got a couple inches on it. Boom.
Right.
Yeah.
But
semantic.
Justin Jefferson is such a force to be reckoned with. And if he can do that with an average quarterback like Kirk Cousins, like DK could do that with Geno Smith, hopefully. Knock on fucking wood. But man, the Packers looked very, very sorry. They just, like, I know you were saying before the show, like, give them three weeks, you know.
Yeah.
But
if they start 0-3, I would be scared. Right now, I'm not, because they lost to the Saints last year, week 1.
Yeah, but
even though that game was played in Jacksonville because of a hurricane, but
my big thing is, it's like, who does Aaron Rodgers have? They don't have a great defense. They don't have, their amazing O-line anymore because all of their guys that were good, keeping him protected, they're retired because because as being, the protection to a MVP, one of the best quarterbacks of our generation type of guy, is you get a lot of damage. And all these guys are just like, I gotta take some time off. I can't do it anymore because I'm getting beat up. And so I just don't see Aaron Rodgers like he's on a 3-year deal. I could just see him being like, "Fuck this, peace out, Girl Scouts, I'm out."
Or just ask for a trade.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody's gonna be grasping for Aaron Rodgers, right? Like they were Tom Brady.
They might.
I don't think he'll get the Tom Brady. I think he'll get 2 teams max that are interested, that will actually make a deal for him.
I can think of a couple that would. But the problem is I don't even know what type of package you can get for him.
Right.
For how old he is and how close he is to retirement. Maybe something like a Peyton Manning deal.
Right. I mean, like
that's about what you're gonna get.
With Brady, right? He went into free agency. That's different.
Right.
But like, I'm sure if Belichick would have been like, "Boys, Brady is available," dude, the whole league would have been chomping. Whole league.
Yeah.
Oh, everybody and their mother would be in on Tom Brady, because Tom Brady. That's the thing. He does that. He's that guy. He's literally, in my opinion, even though like I hated him on the Patriots because I did not like the Patriots. There's a lot of scandals that have gone on with the Patriots. Tom Brady is the best quarterback to ever play. Like, the dude took his team to the playoffs forever. He's been in a shit ton of Super Bowls, even though he hasn't won them all.
You're not going to win them all.
But again, he left the Patriots.
And then won.
And then that season, won the Super Bowl. On his back. Well, the defense played out, but...
Yeah.
Like,
it was a combination of both. He still threw for what? Just
lot.
Shy of 5?
A lot. I just don't think Aaron Rodgers cares enough to be on the fucking field. After the game, when they're interviewing, he just completely is like, "Yeah, my wide receivers didn't do shit," basically. Like, the dude doesn't want to be there. He wants to be discount double check Aaron Rodgers. Like, just go live your life, bro. You had more fun fucking hosting a TV show than you do on the field. Like, and especially because you don't have Devonta Adams anymore. Like, no shit, you're not going to be as good anymore. You don't have a number 1 receiver.
Yeah, I do think that's scary, but I think the NFC North is just so sad. They'll still win.
I don't know. I would throw my hat into the Vikings just because, I mean, you have that Justin Jefferson blanket, right? Like,
I mean, if the defense can fly around like that, like they were,
yeah,
I mean, they have a chance. But
to stop Aaron Rodgers, and that's the big thing is they stopped Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
And then you have the next game, Giants and Titans. Not really, it was a 21-20 victory. Saquon in his return game absolutely just said, "I'm back." So that's awesome. Because, Saquon is one of those guys you look at and you're like, man, I really hope he's good for his whole career.
Yeah.
Because he is I think he is special, like, Jonathan Taylor, all those guys. A healthy CMC, I really think he's special because, like, that dude he's got tree trunks. Literal.
His guys are huge.
Literal tree trunks. It's like some people make business decisions when they see Saquon hurling towards them, because he's fast too, and that's the scary part. It's like Derrick Henry. Yeah. You make business decisions. That's too big of a man to just really go for, you know what I mean? Raiders and Chargers. The Herbert Sherberts out here doing his thing. Baby goat.
The baby goat.
Didn't have Keenan Allen. That was tough.
He's out this week too.
That's tough.
Kansas City.
And it's very tough when you have to rely on Mike Williams to be your number 1 guy. I think.
But Austin Eckler will pick it up.
Yeah, but it's just tough because I think Mike Williams is good. I mean, look at Clemson years; he was fantastic, and then, he just got plagued with the injury bug, and he's still kind of working back towards that to being like what he was. But it's like, you're older now, and da-da-da-da-da. Hopefully you come out and shut me up, but I don't have a lot of faith in Mike Williams as I do with Keenan Allen, because Keenan Allen is a stud. Absolute stud. So, we'll see from there. And then Patrick Mahomes came out and said, "Hold my beer, everybody. I'm gonna go make the Cardinals my little plaything." And then, yeah, I mean, me and my dad were watching that game, and then they flipped it over to the Raiders and Chargers because of the blowout. Patrick Mahomes, 30 for 39, 360 yards, 5 touchdowns.
Yeah, it was like where Kyler still sucks because he's bad.
Travis Kelce.
I don't know how many times I have to say it. He's bad.
Yeah, Travis Kelce, 121 yards. Shocking. Juju Smith-Schuster, 79 yards.
Shocking.
Valdez-Scantling, 44. Not bad.
Shocking. No, not at all.
You know, your running game, Isaiah Pacheco, never heard of this dude. 12 carries for 62 yards. Wow. I don't know why Clyde Edwards. I don't like Edwards-Helaire. I don't think he's
fine.
good.
He did fine for me on fantasy last year.
Hey, he can do fine in fantasy. I just don't think he's good enough.
We'll see. He was hurt for half the year last year, so hopefully he gets a whole year in this year.
But yeah, Kyler Murray was 22 for 34 for 193. And
against the Chiefs defense that took a step back this year, you gotta at least get 200.
I mean, you
got a brand new wide receiver with you.
You have James Conner. I mean, I thought James Conner fucking, from what I saw, was running well, but 26 yards, and then he's only got, 29 yards receiving. AJ Green sitting down here with 13. Zach Ertz sitting down here with 14 yards. Marquise Brown barely broke 40 yards. Like,
yeah,
it makes you miss.
Kyler's good.
It makes you miss the best wide receiver in the league.
I just don't think Kyler is good.
Yeah.
Like, they needed to start 7-0 again. So when COD came out and he started playing that more than he was watching film, then they started sucking like they did last year. Like, you've got to do something.
That's
0-1's not the move.
No, it's not. But again, going up against the Chiefs, it's hard because they're a great team.
Mm-hmm.
They're a great team. And then you have the next team, the Bucs and the Cowboys. Cowboys are done.
That game should never have been that close. It was 12-3, I think, at halftime.
Yeah.
All the Bucs drives stalled at the 10-yard line.
That sounds like another team I know.
But as long as all they had to do, even if half of those are touchdowns,
right?
Like, that's 24-3 at halftime.
It was tough for Dallas because Dak is now out for like 8 to 7 weeks. I thought, or 7 to 8 weeks. I thought I saw
something like that.
Here's the thing. I know they've trusted Dak. They've done things for Dak. It's time to move on. It ain't the move, Chief. It ain't the move anymore.
I didn't think he was the move when they drafted him.
So when he came in, like, he was great. And then his second year, fantastic. It was a good replacement for Tony Romo because Tony Romo was a good quarterback.
Kinda. Don't ask him to hold the extra point.
Right. Now that's why punters do it now.
Wow.
But it was a good transition, and then, boom, injury.
I think that home loss in the playoffs, it was a combination of two losses that really just killed them. It was both against the Packers, ironically enough. The Dez catch, no catch.
That was Tony Romo, hurt, wasn't it?
Huh?
Was that Romo or was that Dak? I'm pretty sure that might have been one of Romo's last years. Because I think when Dak came in, I'm pretty sure Dez was out the door.
Oh, was Romo?
Yeah. Them losing in the playoffs, that hurt them. But like
at home, I know they lost at home when they went 13-3, had the number 1 seed, and they lost to the Packers at home when they thought they should have won. They were winning with 5 minutes left.
And another big thing is just like Dak just keeps getting these injuries that keep him out for super long periods of time. Like Mike McCarthy came out and said, we gotta make a move for somebody. Like, we have to.
Yeah.
Like,
I know a certain quarterback that could fill in for 6 to 8 weeks. He's out in Santa Clara.
Yeah?
He's not doing too much right now because a young kid from North Dakota State stole his job somehow. If the Cowboys can go out and get Jimmy G,
yeah,
that is a good.
I mean, here's the thing.
They'd actually win a playoff game.
You take that contract on. That's fine. That's totally fine.
Yep.
Jerry Jones.
He'll do it.
That's pocket change. 21 million.
If that means that the Cowboys are winning, he'll do whatever it fucking takes.
Oh yeah, he's one of the owners that will do things. Like, he doesn't
without even thinking about it.
All of this money he gives out, pocket change.
He just wants to win.
Yeah.
He just wants to win. That's all it is. So I feel like Jimmy G is a good replacement for him.
I would agree, and it's not like you have to really give a lot because the 49ers basically just diminished his value.
Mm-hmm.
They diminished it. That's the big thing, is like, you can maybe send a 4th and a 5th for Jimmy, and San Fran's going to be like, okay, why not?
Yeah, I feel like if they can go out and get him, you need him for 8 weeks. That's a lot of games. That's half the season.
It is. And then guess what? Most likely, if he's winning and your wide receivers are going off and your tight ends are going off, and Zeke and Pollard are playing well, Dak gonna taste that pine. You're gonna taste that pine, and you're gonna stay there forever until he goes into free agency.
Well, it'd be after this year because Jimmy G's re-signed it. I think it's up after this year or next year.
It's after. I'm pretty sure it's after this year. They restructured his deal, but again, like,
I don't see why they don't. Jimmy G's a lot better of a quarterback than whoever the fuck they have back there.
Right, and I mean,
it's that kid from Central Michigan, if I'm not mistaken.
Again,
unless he's not the team anymore.
Again, like, getting Jimmy G is not gonna take a whole lot. Like,
Cooper Rush, it is that kid from Central Michigan.
It's not gonna take a lot to get him, and it's a guy who you're throwing in a very good situation with a good O-line. You've got CeeDee Lamb and Dalton Schultz, and you have Tony Pollard and Zeke behind you. I think he'll do just fine if you go get him. It's smart.
They don't even have a third quarterback on their roster, by the way.
Yeah, that's not good.
No.
It's not good.
No, it's not.
They gotta do something. And then, but, you know, Tampa Bay still should have always won that game.
Leonard Fournette still looks good.
Oh, he really...
He looks strong. He was out of shape coming into camp, but he looks good. He looked good on Sunday.
Right.
I thought he did.
And then you have my favorite game of the weekend. You know, we touched base on it earlier. How about them Seahawks, though? How about them fucking Seahawks? I was part of the crowd that said they're going to get fucking stomped. They made me feel some type of way last weekend.
75% of Vegas.
Yesterday they made me feel some type of way. I mean, Russell Wilson did Russell Wilson things. 29 for 42, 340 yards plus a touchdown. You knew that's what you're getting. You know, that's fine. But here's the thing. You don't take him out 4th and 5 when you've been getting consistent 5. Like, Melvin Gordon was averaging 4.8 yards a carry. Javonte Williams, 6.1. Jerry Jeudy, 25.5. Cortland Sutton, 18. Javonte Williams, 6 yards. Andrew Beck, their tight end, 26 yards a catch. 6.6 for the next guy, 7 for the next guy. You had fucking 7 dudes on the receiving side and 2 on the rushing side. Like, Russ also kept the ball when he threw it one time. And I was like, you had an open field. Get the fucking first down. What are you doing? Mm-hmm. Why are you an idiot? Like, what? But, you know, Bradley Chubb only got 2 sacks, and that's
He was the only two. He got the only two. Sorry.
I mean, you look at the Seahawks were starting 2 rookie guards, or they started Charles Cross and Abraham Lucas, and they Lucas only got 1 holding call. Cross didn't get any.
Not bad.
They got Gino for 23 for 28. That's a good day at the office.
Oh yeah.
You only missed 5 passes? Great. 195 yards? It's the little things.
Yeah.
And you got 2 touchdowns. Rashad Penny had 60 yards. Averaged 5. Not bad. I mean, could have been better, especially for me because I had him in fantasy, but not a bad day for a running back. I mean, you're running him and Travis Homer, which you're not going to run a lot. Kenneth Walker is basically cleared to play this coming week. So
I was just checking to see if he actually played. I didn't know if he was hurt.
No, he was not on the roster, or he was not active yesterday. He will be active though for this weekend's games. But overall, a good team win. I mean, the Seahawks.
Well, big, but
the Seahawks got 2 sacks on Russ. Their goal line, red zone defense, fantastic. Forced 2 fumbles, multiple stops. It was just it was a good game by the Seahawks overall. I mean, again, you traded for Russell Wilson. You gave up a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You gave up 2 first rounds, 2 second rounds in back-to-back years. Plus, the guy who made a difference last night, Shelby, or whatever his name is, the guy the Seahawks got, the D tackle that they got, he made an impact. And then you trade for him, and then you sign him for $250 fucking million. And you're like, 4th and 5. Let's try for the second longest, kick in history.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's a rookie fucking head coach move. I mean, Mike McDaniel's coached a great game.
I really didn't think it was that bad of a call.
I mean,
I just don't think the time was managed right, but I don't think it was that bad of a call.
Yeah, you let your fucking players stand around for 20 seconds when it's like,
with the clock moving. Yeah,
even the announcers are like, you've been getting 5 yards on the right side.
Yeah.
Everybody was saying that. On the right side, you were getting 5+ yards a drive.
Mm-hmm.
Or a play, and it's like, what? And they're gonna set. Russell must have been furious. He must have been absolutely livid, because that's some Seahawks bullshit right there.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, if it was with 10 seconds left and you run it down, fine. You don't really have enough time to run a full play, and
right. But they did it with, like you said earlier, 45 seconds, and they let
it dwindle down to 20.
They let it go to.
That was just.
Because guess what?
If you go for it on 4th down with 45 seconds left, and you don't get it, you lose anyway.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter.
And then if he misses the kick,
you lose.
Lose anyway. And then you become a big fucking baby because you made a shitty call, and then you're like, 12 seconds left. Timeout. I am gonna make them have 4th down because they could fumble it, and even Aikman and Buck were just like, I don't know what is he doing? I don't understand.
Yeah, that was pretty dumb.
But they had 2 timeouts left at the end, and it's
they called both of them. That was so
it's just he's in the fucking ref's ear, just like, you better let me call this timeout. And he's trying to call a timeout when the Hawks have the ball, and
he was trying to justify it too. He's like, well, he is given the right to use all his timeouts.
And the referee looked at him, shrugged it off, and was like, just letting it go. And it's like, what? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Just because you made a poor coaching decision and didn't trust your franchise quarterback says a lot, especially when he's like on the cusp of breaking another comeback record. Like, this is the ultimate time that you'd want this to happen because it's the team that traded him.
Mm-hmm.
You're literally playing the team that traded him, and you're just like, nah, I'm gonna end this with my kicker, not the quarterback I traded for. Like, I don't know. It baffled me. And I'm just like my wife, who doesn't watch football, was like, what are they doing? I'm like, I have no fucking clue. It's the most mind-boggling fucking play call I've ever seen, because it's just like, Russ has done it time and time and time and time and time and time and time again. And
the only person that had more was Matthew Stafford.
So the one thing, though, is none of their starters played in the preseason.
Shocking.
That's like,
I think preseason's a waste of time.
I agree. But at the same time, right, it's like, well, shit, how are you supposed to get any sort of dynamic, right?
Practice.
We ain't talking about practice.
Well, most teams did hold joint practices
right
this year, so they did play against other defenses, not just their own guys.
But the big thing is like, I don't know, something was off.
Like I said, I stand by that call. Like, I don't mind it. Because if it was on target, like, it was in.
Trust me, I get where you're coming from. Either
Tampa won.
Both ways, it's like, well, if it doesn't happen, you lose.
Yep.
But I think you have a better shot with Russell on the field because, like I said, they were averaging like
right.
2 guys on the ground plus 7 dudes receiving. You had the ultimate chance to fucking get a first down because you broke their defense all night. Between the 20s, everything was open.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they had a fucking sign above their head that every time, they blew a thing, it, like when you see it on a business, it said, open for business.
Yeah.
Like, it just was not a great, like, it was an interesting week 1. I didn't expect the Seahawks to get the W and, lead the division.
Well, it's a stretch. It's week 1.
Yeah, I understand that. But it was just wild to me because I really thought that the Hawks were going to get destroyed in, again, just horrible coaching calls on Denver's side. And it was all through the game. I made a joke because Denver got penalized a lot. They had so many penalties. And the thing I said, I was like, oh, I guess whatever team Russ is on is just a shit ton of penalties are going to be called. Because at halftime, the Seahawks only had 2 penalties. And I was like, what? This is strange. I wasn't used to it.
They had 12. They had 12 for 106.
Yeah. Yeah, they had a lot. So
I knew I'd find it.
It is week 1.
Mm-hmm.
Can't really predict the future. There are a couple teams that I can see just not doing well, especially in the divisions that they're in.
Yeah.
They could have a great season, but still not even make the playoffs. One of the teams out of the AFC West, or 2 of the teams, won't make it. Or no,
right.
No, one of the teams won't because the other 2 will be wild cards.
Mm-hmm.
But man, it was crazy week 1. Week 2 is gonna be even crazier. I was shocked at how many division matchups there were this weekend.
Yeah, it's a tough way to start the year.
Yeah, like I feel like half the teams were division games, and it's just like that usually doesn't happen. So,
I mean, just how they bake the schedule.
I mean, the Steelers and Bengals went down to the last second in overtime, so that was fucking wild. But anyway, guys, we'll try to get a baseball podcast out maybe this week if we can, if our schedules align enough. But, it is tough. But we'll get back to the baseball. Week 1 just kind of took more importance.
True.
But anyway, if you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and leave a like on the video and leave a comment down below. Tell us your favorite team and something exciting from your team that happened this week. You know, mine is the Seahawks winning and Geno Smith not being terrible, because I'm a Seahawks fan. And Ben's Chargers here, they won. Woo!
Sure did. Baby goat.
Division game, big game.
That is a big game.
But if you're listening over on Spotify, go ahead and hit us up on Twitter at Kane Day Show, and Killing Kane and Realdaygaming won. Perfect, got it. Yeah, go ahead and hit us up on there. Tell us your stuff too. We really need to start tweeting on the pod.
Yeah, I'll get on.
But
head up HR for that one.
Hold on, let me get the wife on the horn.
Yeah, I am HR, so.
Oh, okay. But anyway, guys, it was fun talking football. We haven't done it in a long time, so it was good. It was a good first week. But anyway, till next time, we will talk to you guys later.